Dandelions. All done? Oh, thank you. Today I'm going to show you guys how I harvest all of my dandelion and store it for the winter. As you can see, our yard is absolutely overrun with dandelion, and so I don't want to waste it. I'm going to pick as much as I can, and I'll show you how I dry it since the weather is super sunny and warm, and keep it over winter. So if you didn't know already, dandelion is one of the healthiest things that you can eat. So if you have it growing in your yard, don't kill these babies. You can eat the entire thing, the flower, the stem. I already have some videos on my channel you've probably seen already, so sorry if I'm going over this again, but they're phenomenal for you to eat raw like this as salads, or to make a tea out of. So that's what I'm going to do today. Once I see my yard is just going crazy with dandelions and it's getting later in the season, I start harvesting as much as I can and get a really hot sunny day, and I lay them out and I'll dry them. You can dry them any other way really. You can hang them, you can dry them like in small batches in the sun. I'm going to do a really large batch. Or you can dry them in a dehydrator or in an oven on low, and you can use them throughout the winter as tea, and it's still super healthy for you, has all those nutrients in it. And everything is always better raw, but I would say dehydrated and dry is the next best thing. So I don't, sorry, big truck. I don't just use it for tea in the winter, but I also use it for my chickens. You guys may not have chickens, like this has nothing to do with me, but if you have chickens or if you have any other sort of animal, really, even your pets, like you can give it to your pets if you dry it out. So what I do is I dry it out, use it for tea, excuse me, and I also put it in my chicken feed, because during the winter, you know, when there's lots of snow and it's cold and nothing's really growing, the chickens can't get as many greens. I'll add it into their chicken feed, because I can't use regular chicken feed because of allergies. We have wheat allergies, so we can't use regular chicken feed because it all has wheat in it. So I make my own chicken feed using beans and lentils and oats and buckwheat and that sort of stuff. And then to get the greens in, I'll use dried dandelion. And you know, there's lots of other stuff that you could use too, but dandelion is one of the healthiest. So full of vitamins, vitamin K and vitamin A and vitamin C. And that's why you find dandelion to be so bitter too, because it is quite an acquired taste, I would say. Is you find the most bitter, potent tasting things in life to be the most nutrient dense, and it's just the way that it is. So if you can get used to eating them, if you can find them and dry them out and add them to tea, the nice thing about adding them to tea too, or creating a tea out of it, is that you don't just have to do the dandelion. You can dry and add anything else you want to it. You could do berries, you could add some vanilla in it, you could do other dried herbs like lavender and that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's a wonderful thing to keep in your yard, so don't get rid of these. Great for you, great for the environment, great for everything. Anyway, I'm gonna continue harvesting all these dandelions, and I'll show you in a second how I dry them. One thing I'm really trying to do differently lately is to be so thankful and grateful for everything that I have and I'm able to do. So I look at things like this as being a burden or a task, or if, you know, my body's getting sore and I don't want to do this anymore, try to remember how blessed I am to be able to even do something like this. You know, to be able to have hands to pick these wild edibles to be able to actually be and eat healthy. I'm so grateful to have the choice to eat healthy and, you know, to support my body and to be the best that I can. And that I'm free to eat healthy. You know, I'm no longer a slave to sin, and I'm also no longer a slave to my food and to my unhealthy diet. I have the choice to eat this way, and I'm so grateful to have that choice and to be free to do it. So, Lord, thank you for giving us this food in abundance, this free food, this beautiful weather, this amazing day, and the ability to just enjoy life and the way that you've given it to us. It's absolutely incredible, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So while I was out here harvesting the dandelion, I found this little gem, and I might as well show you guys what this is because this is very commonly found pretty much everywhere, just as common as dandelion, I would say, but for some reason out here we don't have a lot of it. And this here is called plantain. So it's not like plantain like the banana, it's plantain, the leaf, and you get a little flower from it that comes up like this, and you get little seeds from it, and that's actually psyllium husk is where they get that from. But these leaves are really good for you too. I would say most commonly used is like a poultice, which you can crunch it up and use it on like bug bites and that sort of stuff. But it's great for the body, and it's very anti-inflammatory as well. And you can harvest this, you can use it just like you would dandelion. You can use it in a salad, you can use it as excuse me, as tea. And look up multiple sources always when you're about to try something new, like a plant especially. You want to make sure you're getting different sources so you know you're getting the right plant. This is what it looks like. You got all the veins running up it like this, and a good way to tell it's plantain is it's very stringy. When you break the stem like this, it's very stringy. And yeah, this is the plantain leaf, so you can use the whole plant as well, just like dandelion. So I'll harvest this baby and I'll dry it out and maybe keep it separate, or maybe I'll use it raw. I don't know, let's see. But I wanted to add this in the video since I found it, so you guys know what plantain is. There you go. I think this is more than enough, so let me show you how I lay them out on my deck. Okay, so my deck is boiling hot. My feet are killing me right now. If you have a deck like this, or just a surface area that's getting lots of sun, you want to use that. If you have sheets or bed sheets, you can use that. I use, this is just like a garden cloth, and I lay it out, and then I'm gonna put the dandelion leaves on it. So let's get going. Okay, let's see how long it takes for these to dry, and we'll be back and I'll show you what they look like. A couple of hours later, and they're as dry as a bone, which is awesome. So now I'm going to put them in a big bowl, and then I will just grind them up, not so that they're a fine powder, but just so that they're broken up a little bit, just like tea leaves. As I'm doing this, picking up the dandelion, I think there are spots that didn't fully dry out. Oh, look, like there's a couple of them that are still pretty, no, not dry at all. So probably because they were layered a little bit too much in that spot, so maybe I'll take those out. But what I will do, because I can feel when I'm scrunching them up and putting them in the bowl that they're still a tad too moist, not all of them, but just a bit of them, is I'm going to leave it out. Once I crunch it up a bit and break it up a bit, I'm going to leave it out in what little sun we have left and let it air dry a bit, and then that should fully dry it. As long as they're not in huge chunks, they'll dry a lot faster that way. So see how it goes. Hello, little friend. Come to help me? As you start to scrunch it up like this, you'll see the leaves start falling down to the bottom just like that. And you'll find that a lot of the stems might still be intact. So if you don't want the stems in there, you can just pull them right out, just like that. See? Pull them right out. Just throw them out. Or if you want to keep them, if you find they're dry enough, you can keep them a part of it totally fine. You can use a blender, you can use mortar and pestle. I just find this to be the easiest way to get ground leaves just like that. Beauty. And there you have it. So there are the dandelion leaves, all the dried dandelion leaves. And here I've got the stems that I took out. They are a bit moist still, so I'm just gonna throw them to the chickens. Boys, dandelions, dandelions, eat them. They're good for you. Eat them. My babies? Do my babies want some dandelions? Do my babies want some? Oh, I'm sorry. Mama, what was that for? What was that for, baby? Huh? Supposed to go eat the dandelions. You guys are still kind of tiny.